Chapter 25. Liam Fitzpatrick pressed his back against the damp cave wall, his breath coming in short, controlled bursts. The weight of his nearly empty revolver hung heavy in his hand, a stark reminder of how dire his situation had become. The flickering torchlight cast grotesque shadows on the cavern walls, transforming the pursuing guards into monstrous spectres. He'd been a fool to think he could outshoot them all. Now, trapped in this labyrinth of stone and darkness, Liam knew he'd have to rely on more than just his marksmanship to survive. Come out, wherever you are," one of the guards called, his voice echoing off the stone walls. "We've got you cornered, friend. No use dragging this out." Liam's mind raced, years of training kicking in as he assessed his options. A frontal assault was suicide. Retreat meant certain capture, but perhaps there was a third option. With deliberate movements, Liam holstered his gun and began to edge along the wall towards a spot where the torchlight cast the deepest shadows. As he moved, he allowed his feet to scuff against the stone, creating just enough noise to draw attention. "I think I heard something," another guard hissed. "Over there, in the shadows." Liam suppressed a grim smile. They were taking the bait. Now came the tricky part. As the guard's footsteps drew nearer, Liam let his body sag against the wall. He clutched at his side, face contorting in a mask of pain that wasn't entirely feigned. The bruises from his earlier scuffle were making themselves known with a vengeance. "There he is!" The triumphant shout echoed through the cavern. "Looks like our boy's not feeling so well." Liam raised his head, meeting the guard's eyes with a look of desperation. "Please," he gasped, his voice ragged. I can't." The guard's laugh was cruel, cutting through the damp air like a knife. "Oh, what's the matter? Did the big bad detective get a boo-boo?" As the men drew closer, confidence radiating from their every movement, Liam fought to keep his muscles relaxed. Every instinct screamed at him to fight, to run, but he forced himself to remain still. "Not yet, not yet." "Boss wants him alive," one of the guards muttered, his voice low but carrying in the enclosed space. "Says he might have information." "Doesn't mean we can't rough him up a bit first," another replied, cracking his knuckles ominously. They were close now, so close Liam could smell the stale sweat and cheap tobacco on their breath. Just a little closer. The first guard reached out, his meaty hand closing around Liam's collar. "All right, you miscreant. Time to." Liam moved. Years of training, countless hours spent honing his body into a weapon, all culminated in this moment. His hand shot out, striking the guard's throat with pinpoint accuracy. As the man stumbled back, choking and gasping, Liam was already in motion. He pivoted, using the momentum to drive his elbow into the second guard's solar plexus. The man doubled over with a woof of expelled air, and Liam seized the opportunity to wrench the pistol from his slackened grip. The third guard, slower on the uptake, was only just beginning to raise his weapon when Liam brought the butt of the stolen gun crashing down on his temple. The man crumpled without a sound, his torch clattering to the ground. Liam didn't hesitate. With a well-aimed kick, he sent the fallen torch spinning across the cavern floor. It hit a shallow pool of water with a hiss, plunging the cave into near-total darkness. Chaos erupted. Shouts of confusion and alarm echoed off the stone walls, multiplying until it seemed like a whole army was bearing down on them. Liam used the mayhem to his advantage, moving swiftly and silently through the darkness. His eyes, already adjusted to the dim light, picked out the shapes of the disoriented guards. They stumbled about, hands outstretched, calling to each other in panicked voices. "Where is he? I can't see a bloody thing. Watch where you're swinging, you idiot! That was my head!" Liam allowed himself a grim smile as he circled behind them. The tables had turned, and now it was the hunters who found themselves at a disadvantage. With practiced efficiency, Liam struck. A sharp blow to the back of one guard's knee, followed by a quick strike to the base of the skull. The man went down without a sound. Another guard, alerted by the movement, swung wildly in Liam's direction. Liam ducked under the clumsy blow, using the man's momentum to flip him onto his back. The impact with the stone floor drove the air from the guard's lungs, leaving him gasping and disoriented. The last guard, realizing the tide had turned, made a break for it. Liam heard his panicked footsteps retreating down the tunnel, accompanied by breathless shouts for reinforcements. Liam knew he had only moments before more of Luther's men arrived. He had to move, had to find a way out of this stone maze. But first, he knelt beside the fallen guards, quickly binding their hands and feet with their own belts. It wouldn't hold them for long, but it might buy him the time he needed. As Liam worked, his mind raced with possibilities. The caves were vast, a sprawling network that stretched for miles beneath the cliffs. With the guards secured, Liam paused, straining his ears for any sound of approaching reinforcements. The cavern was silent, save for the steady drip of water from unseen stalactites. He had a moment, at least, to catch his breath and plan his next move. But where to go? The caves were a maze, and Liam had long since lost any sense of direction. For all he knew, he could be heading deeper into the mountain rather than towards an exit. Liam paused, straining his ears for any sound of approaching reinforcements. The cavern was silent save for the steady drip of water from unseen stalactites. He had a moment, at least, to catch his breath and plan his next move. But where to go? The caves were a maze, and Liam had long since lost any sense of direction. For all he knew, he could be heading deeper into the mountain rather than towards an exit. A faint echo reached his ears then, so soft he almost missed it. Voices, distant but growing closer. Liam tensed, ready for another fight. These voices were unfamiliar, possibly more of Luther's men searching for him. "He can't have gone far," a gruff voice echoed off the stone walls. "Spread out and search every tunnel." Liam's heart raced. He was outnumbered and outgunned. Fighting his way out wasn't an option this time. He needed to find another way. His eyes, now accustomed to the darkness, scanned the cavern desperately. There, barely visible in the gloom, was a narrow fissure in the rock wall. It might be too small for a man to fit through, but Liam was out of options. Moving as quietly as he could, Liam made his way to the crack. Up close, it looked even tighter than he'd first thought. But the voices were growing louder, and he could hear the scuff of boots on stone. It was now or never. Taking a deep breath, Liam began to squeeze himself into the narrow opening. The rough stone scraped against his skin, tearing at his clothes. For a heart-stopping moment, he feared he might become stuck, trapped like a rabbit in a snare. But desperation lent him strength. With a final painful push, Liam popped through the other side of the fissure, stumbling into a small, hidden chamber. He allowed himself only a moment to catch his breath before pressing on. The chamber led to another tunnel, this one sloping gently upward. Hope flared in Liam's chest. Up meant out meant freedom. As he moved swiftly but cautiously through the new passage, the sounds of pursuit faded behind him. The air grew fresher, carrying with it the faint scent of rain and sea salt. After what felt like hours but was likely only minutes, Liam saw a glimmer of light ahead. Moonlight, filtering through a narrow opening. With a final burst of energy, he scrambled towards it, emerging onto a small ledge high up on the cliffside. The night air hit him like a physical force after the stifling atmosphere of the caves. Liam gulped it in gratefully, allowing himself a moment of relief. He'd escaped, for now. But the real battle was yet to come. As he began to pick his way carefully up the cliff face, Liam's mind was already racing ahead, planning his next move. He needed to find Warren and regroup to gather information and allies.